when that play actually took place, Sophie Cunningham was ready to jump off the bench right then and there. Sophie was ready to jump off the bench right then and there. Look at this. Boom, Marina Mabrey gets it. And then what do you see right here? You see the picture. You see the picture on the left-hand side over there. Yeah, Austin Kelly holding Sophie Cunningham back. Hey, Sophie, we're I know you want to get after it. I know you're about that action, but you got to stay right here on the sideline. Seriously, no one can say Caitlin Clark isn't targeted. Girl just got poked to the eye, thrown to the ground, and was still given a technical foul. Marina Mabrey was not ejected. These officials are absolutely terrible.
You think you saw what happened in Indiana that night? Think again. Hidden footage exposes how Sophie Cunningham transformed from a sharpshooter into Caitlin Clark's human shield, while the league turned a blind eye. This isn't just basketball drama. It's a war between loyalty and corruption.
The greatest thing I saw tonight was Sophie Cunningham. Thank you. Sophie Cunningham was about to give she's about to give her the Stone Cold Stunner, bro. I'm gonna put it right here, bro. She was gripping Jacy Sheldon and straight bumped her. She was straight grabbing her hair and was talking shit while doing it. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you become a teammate. That's a road dog. That's a real teammate, bro. She see what made me mad the play before, Howard, none of them jokers didn't stick up for Caitlin Clark. But that's how you stick up for Caitlin Clark. That's how you fight for your teammates. That's how you do it.
And what we uncover will make you question everything about the WNBA. Stick around. This changes the game. Smash that like button if you believe players deserve protection, not target practice. Target. June 17th, 2025. Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Caitlin Clark, the face of the WNBA, takes a deliberate finger to the eye from Connecticut's Jacy Sheldon. Seconds later, Marina Mabrey blindsides her with a WWE-worthy shove to the floor. Referees, they handed Clark a technical foul while Mabrey walked free.
The W, especially if Sophie Cunningham is going to continue to fight people for messing with Caitlin Clark, because it feels like Caitlin Clark is going to get treated in a certain way in this league for a long time. She's not a rookie anymore. Okay? She's already proved herself. She's won. And then there were some, ladies last night that were trying to go a little physical. And in last year, I think something we noticed, and I think a lot of people noticed, is when Caitlin would get bullied, nobody would do nothing.
That's right.
Nobody would do nothing. It was like, hey, they didn't know, like, whoa, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe people are doing this to Caitlin Clark. Teammates weren't jumping in there. They bring in Sophie Cunningham. I had no idea. Sophie Cunningham was a black belt at the age of 6.
Yeah. Yep.
Boom!
Wow.
Jacy Sheldon, that's cute. You want to poke her in the eye, then push her into a boom Mabrey thing? Go ahead. I'll take a take foul, and you'll eat the deck a little bit here.
Let that sink in. The victim punished, the attacker rewarded. But why? Here's what cameras missed. Sophie Cunningham exploding off the bench like a grenade, only to be wrestled down by fever coaches. Lip readers confirm she screamed, "That's my teammate," as staff pinned her arms. Think about that. A player so furious. Her own team had to contain her because they knew Sophie wasn't there to play nice. She was there to end careers.
Getting that lick back. Sophie wasn't trying to hide nothing. She wasn't trying to, disguise it. She was looking at you the entire time you drove. She knew exactly what she was going to do, and she knew exactly what she was going to do when you stood up. See, that's how you handle business. They brought you there, Sophie Cunningham, to be the enforcer for Caitlin Clark, and that's exactly what you're doing. Hey, man, one thing you can say about the WNBA, there ain't no punks. You know what I mean? There ain't no punks. But these refs are horrible. These refs are trash. Like, I just found out that y'all gave Caitlin Clark a tech and you didn't even throw Marina out for that.
The payback. Fast forward to the final minute. Fever up. Sheldon steals the ball, grinning like she'd won. Bad move. Cunningham channeled her childhood Taekwondo black belt. Yes, real 3. Wrapped Sheldon's head and dumped her on the hardwood like a sack of bricks. Hair pulling? Check. Trash talking? Check. A standing ovation as Sophie marched off court? Deafening.
Cam did exactly what the fuck needed to be done last night. And I love that for her. Because what y'all not gonna do, for one, Connecticut had no chance in winning that game, but what y'all not gonna do is decide to play dirty, to play violent because y'all getting smacked by the Indiana Fever. Y'all had no chance. They had no chance of winning that game anyway. So all they resorted to was just playing fucking dirty. And shit, Sophie Cunningham said, well, shit, you know, that's why they brought me over here. So I'm about to do what they brought me over here.
Then, the league's shocking verdict. No suspensions for Sheldon or Mabrey. Cunningham, fined and branded violent. Even worse, Mabrey's cheap shot was quietly upgraded to a flagrant 2 after the game, proving refs knew they'd messed up.
So it's really people out here defending Marina Mabrey for Madden hit sticking Caitlin Clark to the floor, saying that she's just protecting her teammate. For one, it involved Caitlin Clark and Jacy Sheldon. They had their little spiel before that. And then Jacy Sheldon scratches Clark in the face, then invades her space after that. Clark pushes her away because of that. And then Marina Mabrey comes get involved and Madden hit sticks her to the floor, man. And y'all just like she was protecting her teammate. But then Sophie Cunningham is getting called vile and disgusting for dropping Jacy Sheldon to the floor and dragging her by the hair. So Sophie Cunningham can't stick up for her teammate, or else it's vile and disgusting. But Marina Mabrey could get involved in something that didn't involve her, and it's just she was protecting her teammate. The Caitlin Clark hate.
Coach Stephanie White blasted it perfectly. Everybody's getting better, except the officials. Translation: the fix was in. The jersey effect. When Sophie Cunningham's jersey vanished from WNBA shelves overnight, it wasn't just merchandise flying off racks. It was a cultural earthquake. Across Indianapolis, fans mobbed team stores. Online, desperate buyers offered triple retail price for replicas.
In case you guys don't know yet, Sophie Cunningham's jersey, oh yeah, Fever fans spend that bread, folks. Sophie Cunningham's jersey, out of stock. Look at that. No size in stock. A small, a medium, a large, an extra large, a double XL. You're going to have to get one custom made. Sophie Cunningham stands up for Caitlin Clark, and overnight, her jerseys are selling like hot.
But this frenzy hides a darker truth. The league never planned for Sophie to become its anti-hero. Why fans revolted? The no fear phenomenon. Social media erupted with hashtag protect the shooter memes, from moms posting daughters in Cunningham jerseys to military vets saluting her unit cohesion tactics. UFC's unexpected endorsement. Fighters like Rose Namajunas tweeted, Sophie's clinch? Textbook takedown defense. Respect. MMA analyst dissected her childhood taekwondo footage frame by frame.
Everything that happened last night between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun with Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, Mabrey, and Sheldon, all of it, it is so good for the WNBA, dude. Never in a million years would I have thought I would find myself feeling compelled to turn on a WNBA game at the same time as a Stanley Cup game in which one of the teams has the opportunity to win the best trophy in professional sports. Never in a million years would I have thought I would feel compelled to turn on that WNBA game that's going on at the same time and find myself watching it and yelling, drag her ass, as Sophie Cunningham is tackling Sheldon to the floor. Love it, dude. It's so good. It's so good. The WNBA has needed, and the Fever more specifically, but just in general, the WNBA has needed a Sophie Cunningham so badly. And for the record, every single team.
Economic rebellion. Fans weren't just buying fabric. They were funding a revolution. Every $125 jersey screamed, "We'll protect Caitlin since the league won't." ESPN's shameful narrative. While fans rallied, network experts launched a disturbing smear campaign. Clark invites contact with her Larry Bird mentality. Physicality comes with trash talk. Monica McNutt on First Take. Greats endure punishment. Caitlin's no exception.
And you see her, you see a little shove here and there. You see her throwing a little elbow here and there. You see her talking smack. Caitlin Clark does this. So, on top of the fact that she can play, because the girl's a shooter, and she's an assist maven as well, leading the league in assists and stuff like that. She's special, 4th in league MVP honors last year, Rookie of the Year. But she's also somebody, Doggy, you will appreciate this, kind of like Larry Bird was. When Larry Bird shooting the lights out and stuff like that, but Larry Bird also
Stephen A. Smith, the hypocrisy, staggering. ESPN's own data shows. Clark games average 1.2 M viewers, for times higher than non-Clark matchups. Ad rates during Fever games tripled since her draft, yet analysts blame the victim while cashing her checks. The double standard unmasked. Compare the league's punishments. Player action consequence. Sophie Cunningham defensive takedown fine plus violent label. Marina Mabrey blindside shove to Clark's backlate flagrant 2 upgrade. Officials ignored 3+ eye poke incidents, 0 accountability. Coach Stephanie White's mic drop truth bomb. When your MVP needs bodyguards, you've failed the sport. Behind the scenes, the Fever's gamble. League sources reveal Indiana's front office predicted this firestorm. Their offseason strategy diagnosed the rot. 2023 footage showed Clark taking 58% more contact than top rookies. Recruit an enforcer, targeted Cunningham for her contagious defensive rage. Scouts notes. Accept collateral damage. Budgeted $500,000 for expected fines/suspensions. Psychology of an enforcer. Ex-MBA therapist Dr. Elena Rodriguez explains. Sophie's not violent. She's exhibiting territorial protection. When systems fail, alpha personalities fill voids. Her jersey sales? Tribalism in jersey form. Generational divide exposed. Veteran WNBA stars privately seethe. We earned respect through grind, not hype. Anonymous 10-year vet. She gets calls we never did. 2X All-Star via DM. Yet data proves otherwise. Clark draws fewer fouls per drive than 79% of starting guards. The TikTok effect. Gen Z weaponized the moment. Cunningham wrestling memes, plus 2.7M TikTok views. Drag her challenge. Edits with Selena Gomez audio. Hashtag WNBA Mafia trends in 18 countries. Dangerous precedent. The scariest outcome? Copycat aggression. In the Fever Sun rematch. 22 fouls called in Q1 alone. 3 technicals for preemptive taunting. As one coach warned, we're one cheap shot from a bench clearing riot. The real winners and losers. Winner why? Merch sellers Cunningham jerseys now resell for $400 plus. Connecticut Sun gained 83K new haters. Social analytics. Youth dojos Taekwondo signups up 200% in Indiana. Loser why? WNBA refs 91% fan distrust rating. ESPN poll. Marina Mabrey sponsorship deals paused after backlash. Old guard media Gen Z viewers call their takes cringe. What comes next? Insiders whisper about. A Clark Protection Task Force. Secret GM meetings. ESPN possibly bench McNutt from Fever coverage. Cunningham's pending shoe deal with Combat Sports brand. The pattern of neglect. Rewind to 2024. Rookie Caitlin Clark absorbed 47% more hard fouls than any first-year player in WNBA history. Teammates often looked away during confrontations. Coaches called it part of her initiation. This wasn't basketball. It was institutionalized targeting. The league's silence sent a dangerous message. Star power won't protect you. Why the Fever had to act. The breaking point. After a game where Clark took an elbow to the throat with no foul called, Fever GM Lynn Dunn reportedly slammed her desk. Give me someone who'll yendy this. The Cunningham blueprint. Front office analytics identified Sophie as the league's #1 defensive disruptor, with 83% fewer career technicals than other enforcers. The unspoken mandate, as one scout leaked, her job isn't rebounds. It's making sure Caitlin walks off court unhurt. Viewers aren't tuning in for bloodsport. They're craving authentic protection in a league that failed its brightest star. Consider tribal validation. When Cunningham grabbed Sheldon's hair, 78% of Fever fans polled called it necessary. Team Source Analytics. Hero archetypes. Sports psychologists note fans instinctively reward protectors. Rodman for Jordan. Oakley for Jordan. Generational shift. Gen Z audiences praise Cunningham's actions as boundary enforcement against workplace harassment. The officiating crisis. A deeper investigation reveals. Season missed calls on Clark result. 2024-29 confirmed no calls, sprained wrist, missed 3 games. 2025-41 plus in first 15 games league fine CT Sun $25,000 after viral brawl. Cultural fallout. The league now faces impossible contradictions. Merchandising hypocrisy. Selling $199 Clark collector jerseys while tolerating her targeting. Viewer demand. Games featuring physical rivalries draw 2.3x more viewers. Player safety PR. Empty respect the game campaigns while stars risk injury. The Clark effect paradox. Her impact is undeniable. Fever ticket prices up 400%. League sponsorship up $200 million. 12,000 plus new youth league signups. Yet veterans resent her privilege, ignoring that 92% of the league's growth ties directly to her arrival, Forbes data. Behind the scenes, the enforcer economy. Indiana's Cunningham trade ignited a hidden market. Phoenix Mercury now seeking physical wings, per GM sources. Agents rebranding clients as two-way enforcers. Vegas aces experimenting with hockey-style line brawls in practice. Youth basketball's alarming shift. Travel team coaches report 14-year-olds practicing legal hard foul techniques. Parents demanding Cunningham-type teammates for star daughters. Skills camps adding contact management drills. The dangerous precedent. By not suspending Mabrey/Sheldon, the league implicitly endorsed. Retaliatory culture. If they won't call it, we'll handle it. Anonymous all-star. Strategic targeting, bottom-feeding teams fouling Clark to reduce point spreads. Liability time bomb. Insiders warn one major injury could trigger lawsuits. Why Cunningham changed everything. Her actions expose four uncomfortable truths. The WNBA lacks consistent officiating standards. Star protection is now a roster-building strategy. Fans prioritize justice over pure basketball. The league cares more about viral moments than player safety. The global reaction. Australia. Clark needs a bodyguard? Our leagues would have fixed this. Opal's coach. Europe. Spanish media dubs it El Efecto Gladiadora, gladiator effect. NBA influence. LeBron James tweets zipper mouth face emoji after Sheldon eye poke footage drops. What comes next? 3 scenarios. The NHL path. Embrace enforcers with fighting majors gaining fan loyalty. The NFL path. Suspend players via targeting rules. Losing physical identity. The status quo. More Cunninghams emerge organically. Inevitable bench-clearing brawls. The ultimate irony. The same league that marketed Clark as its savior failed to protect her. Now Cunningham, the problem they find, has become their hottest commodity. Her jersey sales funded more security for Clark than the league ever provided. Sophie's appeal isn't rooted in thuggery. It's an authenticity. She embodies traits the league undervalued. The Sabrina to Clark's Taylor. Sophie famously compared their dynamic to opening act Sabrina Carpenter supporting Taylor Swift's headline tour. I'm here to do whatever the team needs, she stated, whether that's hitting threes or holding aggressors accountable. Beauty and brawn. Glamorous tunnel fits contrast with on-court grit. She's a former high school football kicker who wore her homecoming sash over shoulder pads, proof that femininity and ferocity coexist. The black belt mindset. Trained in Taekwondo since age 3, her 6-year-old black belt taught her combat is principled, not chaotic. She wasn't angry, she was focused, noted a fan, describing her calm during the Sheldon takedown. Merch sales exploded because people weren't buying a player. They were buying philosophy. Her jersey became the uniform of dissent. The WNBA's institutional failure. Sophie's rise underscores the league's lost opportunities. Economic ignorance. Clark drives for 100% higher ticket sales and 55% ratings drops when absent, yet the league let her become a punching bag, risking its golden goose for drama. The old guard resentment. Veterans dismiss Clark as an unearned star, ignoring her role in funding their paychecks through league growth. Cunningham, a 6-year vet, rejected that jealousy, stating, "She's changed our game." Why wouldn't I support that? Safety is afterthought. No task force is formed after Clark's 2024 sprained wrist from uncalled fouls. Only when Sophie acted did the league face pressure to reform. The message was clear. Protection wouldn't come from the top. It had to come from within. Cultural shockwaves beyond basketball. Sophie's impact transcends sports. The Cunningham effect. Youth Taekwondo dojos report 200% enrollment spikes. Parents request enforcer mentality training, not for violence, but for boundary setting. Fashion as empowerment. Her pre-game tunnel fits. Designer blazers over fever gear. Spark trends. Girls emulate her blend of athleticism and style, tagging her in videos. Glam on. Guard on. Corporate whiplash. Adidas and Quest Nutrition double partnership offers after her social boom. Analysts note her $10,000 per post fee now nears $50,000. Proof that authenticity monetizes better than animosity. Even critics conceded her cultural resonance. As one sports podcaster admitted, she made protective loyalty the hottest brand in sports. The unavoidable future Sophie forced. The league now faces a Sophie-shaped reckoning. The copycat dilemma. Teams scramble to find their Cunninghams. Phoenix Mercury seeks physical wings, while Vegas Aces experiments with hockey-style line brawls in practice. Rule reform pressure. Coaches demand Clark protection protocols, instant ejections for eye contact fouls, independent review boards for bias officiating. Generational shift. Gen Z fans flock to Cunningham's TikTok. 1M plus followers, not for highlights, but for her unedited takes. They trust her because she's real, notes a media strategist. Her legacy crystallizes in a fan's viral tweet. Sophie didn't choose violence. The WNBA chose neglect, and she chose her teammate. Why this matters forever. Sophie Cunningham exposed sport's ugliest truth. Systems fail. People protect. Her journey, from Missouri Taekwondo dojos to sold-out jerseys, isn't about basketball. It's about the moment society decided guardianship is as valuable as stardom. Little girls don't want to be Sophie because she tackles rivals. They want her fearlessness in claiming space, her refusal to let power abuse silence the vulnerable. As she mouths Selena Gomez lyrics with a wink, she whispers to millions, "You don't need permission to defend what matters." The league can find her. Rivals can fear her, but history will remember her as the enforcer who made women's sports safer, fiercer, and unignorably human. The viral moment that exposed the WNBA's broken system. Sophie Cunningham's lip sync of Selena Gomez's "Can't Keep My Hand to Myself" wasn't just a TikTok trend, it was a cultural detonation. The video amassed 1 million views in hours, transforming her from a role player into the face of fan fury over the league's failure to protect Caitlin Clark. In that clip, Cunningham weaponized humor to spotlight a grim truth. The WNBA sacrificed its golden goose for viral drama, and players like her would now enforce justice themselves. Anatomy of a crisis. How neglect fueled an icon. 1. The unprotected superstar. Caitlin Clark endured more hard fouls than any rookie in WNBA history before Cunningham's arrival. When Jacy Sheldon's eye poke and Marina Mabrey's shove sent Clark to floor, referees issued Clark a technical foul, while Mabrey's punishment was merely upgraded to a flagrant 2 after the game. This institutional gaslighting screamed, endure abuse or be penalized. 2. The double standard laid bare. Cunningham's retaliatory takedown of Sheldon cost her an ejection and a fine. Yet Mabrey, who initiated unprovoked contact, faced identical consequences. Fans erupted online. Sophie defended Clark when the league wouldn't. Now they're punishing and protect her? The message? Accountability applies only to those who disrupt the WNBA's profit-driven narrative. 3. The viral justice. Cunningham's TikTok defiance resonated globally. Italian fans declare her world teammate of the century. South Africans who'd never watched basketball called her their hero. Youth Taekwondo enrollment spiked as girls sought Cunningham-style courage. Her jersey sellout wasn't fandom. It was tribal investment in a revolution. The WNBA self-sabotage. 1. Officiating, a system designed to fail. Unlike the NBA's salaried referees, WNBA officials are underpaid contractors who switch between NCAA and pro rules yearly. This resource gap breeds inconsistency. Physical plays against stars like Clark are ignored until they escalate. Upgrades to flagrant fouls post-game are meaningless. They can't undo injuries or restore trust. As Fever coach Stephanie White warned, when you allow stuff to happen all season, this is a result. 2. The Clark Effect Paradox. Clark's arrival boosted league revenue by $200 million and sold out arenas. Yet veterans dismissed her as an unearned star, ignoring how her stardom funded their paychecks. Cunningham, a 6-year veteran, rejected this jealousy. She's changed our game. Why wouldn't I support that? The league's silence revealed its priority, monetizing conflict over protecting growth. 3. ESPN's hypocrisy. While profiting from Clark's record ratings, analysts blamed her Larry Bird trash talk for inviting violence. This victim-blaming echoed a toxic pattern. Sacrifice the star, preserve old guard narratives. Cunningham's legacy. Beyond the brawl. 1. The birth of the enforcer economy. Teams now scramble for Cunningham types. Phoenix Mercury seeks physical wings. Vegas Aces practices resemble hockey line brawls. Adidas and combat sports brands court Cunningham for sponsorships, valuing her authenticity over animosity. 2. A cultural blueprint. Her tunnel fits, designer blazers over fever gear, and Taekwondo discipline redefined toughness. Glam on, guard on. Gen Z's new mantra. This fusion of ferocity and femininity challenged the stereotype that protection requires brutality. 3. The global ripple. Spanish media dubbed it El Efecto Gladiadora, gladiator effect. Australian coaches scoff. Our leagues would have fixed this immediately. LeBron James zippermouth face tweet after Sheldon's eye poke footage hinted at cross-sport solidarity. The unavoidable reckoning. The WNBA faces three paths. The NHL model, embrace enforcers with fighting majors, leveraging fan loyalty. The NFL model, implement targeting rules to eject offenders, sacrificing physicality for safety. The status quo, risk bench clearing brawls as more Cunninghams emerge organically. Petitions to ban Cunningham garnered minimal signatures. Proof that fans demand systemic reform, not scapegoats. Drop a comment. Should enforcers like Sophie be celebrated? Subscribe for the unfiltered truth YouTube won't show.